Aloha!
Aloha,
My name is Krista Lakshmi-Dettel
and I'm Michael Ditton.
and we are Infinite,
Activation.
coming to you from.
I don't know. I was in Texas this morning, Southern California.
Yeah, welcome back.
Thank you.
Today I got inspiration for our topic today just like 20 minutes ago.
Okay.
And I guess that one of the number one things you really love, or not things, basically, could say someone is probably me.
I love you.
Yeah, love you. Do you love me?
Am I supposed to love you?
Yeah.
Oh, of course I love you.
Yeah. But pretty close to that number one, there is also another thing you really love. Can you guess what that is?
You know about her?
About it. It's a
Oh,
thing.
oh. You mean real estate?
Actually, numbers.
Numbers. I like numbers. Yeah.
Yeah. So why do you like? I think you don't only like numbers, but you love numbers. Why do you love numbers?
Because when you play with them or manipulate them, they can be fascinating things. They can be scary things, like, oh my God, that's not a good thing, or oh my God, that's a wonderful thing. And you can also kind of plan and calculate too. If you need something to change, for example, if you need something to be more, you know where you're at and what the difference is, so you can set a goal and go accomplish it. And this morning, well, actually, last for a couple of days, I've been working on projections for a new project, and it's exciting to see where it's at, and it's exciting to see where it will go, and the potential for it. And of course, nothing's a given; it's all projections, but the possibility is calculated. It's a educated, calculated, formula that we use. It's not pie in the sky. There's no guarantees with anything, but it's realistic. And when you start playing with those numbers, and you use, we're conservative, but when you start playing with them and you kind of get an okay scenario, and you know that that's not even the best case scenario, it's pretty exciting.
Yeah. And I know that so many people, especially right now, may have real difficulties and challenges, and probably love and hate relationship, probably even more like hate relationship with numbers right now. And I have seen in my own life, especially when we met and you introduced me something called budget,
Mm-hmm.
how things can actually change very quickly and very drastically, and how you can actually change your life quality just with just such a little thing like a budget is. So can you just like take into pieces very like simply why is a budget a good idea, and how you can use it so that you can actually multiply your numbers?
Well, like, we use sailing analogies an awful lot, and goal setting. And if you don't have a destination, or you don't have a goal, and you're just wandering aimlessly, you don't know what you've accomplished, you don't know where you're going. And a budget's kind of the same way, and especially in times like this, maybe people can't even afford to go out for that cup of coffee, but if you're trying to, let's just say you're trying to plan for a vacation, and it's in normal times without the things that are going on crazy in the world, and you just go, I don't know how I can afford it, and I can't work any more hours than what I'm doing and everything else. But we work with people to take a look at journaling. And if you journal every single penny you spend, most people will realize that there's an awful lot of waste. And I mentioned coffee because the big coffee companies nowadays, and I don't have anything against them, but you pay $5, $6, $7, $8 for a cup of coffee, a fancy coffee, when it costs you 50 cents at home. So if you truly want to, try to pinch pennies, without cheating yourself, drink coffee from home instead of there. And if you're doing it every day, I mean, that can 25, 30, $40 a week, and that adds up pretty quick. And that's just one thing. Grocery stores are famous for putting little things at the checkout counter that they know people are going to grab at the last minute. And we kind of have a policy that we do a wants versus needs, and we look at things, especially when it comes to big ticket items, whether it's something that we want or something that we need. If we need it, we figure out a way to do it. But if it's something we want, we'll step away and we'll think about it. And if we want to reward ourselves, oftentimes we'll go ahead and do it. And that's okay to have that kind of want and turn it into a need. But there's also um, maybe you postpone it. Maybe you put it on the budget so that you can save $10 a month or $50 a month, so that it can, you can treat yourself with it. So there's just a lot of different ways to do it. And with the times the way they are now, and I see the big companies even pushing this now. Cut back on. They're telling people to cut back on insurances. I don't. I'm not a big insurance guy, anyways. But if there's room there, go for it. A lot of people are running cable TV and internet. Maybe you can go with a reduced package or get rid of TV and just watch movies on your laptop or something. Maybe there's subscriptions that you're paying for, magazines or something that is not really helping you get ahead right now, and it's something that you can put on postpone. Even and a lot of these things I don't recommend that you do, but evaluate it is what it is. I mean, even AAA Automobile Club, we have it. We have a newer car, which we don't really need it for, but we still use it for something else. But if I wanted to trim the budget, that's $63 a year. So there are ways to, if you do a budget and you know what you're spending, and that number doesn't make that number, and you know what the difference is, you can see if there's any fat you can trim, or maybe you can do something. We talk about life purpose, life mission. Maybe you can create something or do something to make up for that little bit of a difference, and then still be able to have it.
Yeah, and in a way, budget becomes like a roadmap, and
Yeah,
also like a container, which is creating a very comfortable, very clear, and very tidy home for your numbers.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So I remember when we met, I was in a stage where I understood that, okay, if I want to really start to create constant flow of money, I have to like look into that. And one of the first things I did was, as I came out with a new online class for 12 months, I did a little calculation like, okay, I need at least like 10 people for that amount of money for the 12 next months. And then did my promotion and marketing and so on. And then I got those 10 people. And then I also knew that, of course, I have that income for those 12 months. But you also have to consider that, people may get tired within those 12 months. So,
some
uh,
people will fall off.
yeah,
Yeah,
so like 10% or sometimes even more. So, and that you also have to actually factor in. Maybe you have to like figure out some side projects or whatever, as Michael also said.
yeah,
So, and I believe also that once you start to give attention to numbers, it actually, like, it's like with everything, where you put attention, it creates more energy.
yeah.
So your numbers are like, they're like, I want to go to Michael because Michael has a good home for numbers. So we want to hang out with Michael. We
Yeah.
want to, maybe, who knows, maybe even make love.
Mm. Yeah, and you can, I mean, you talk to some of the most famous people in the world who are very wealthy and succeeded, and it's, they built their wealth by paying attention to their numbers. And it doesn't necessarily mean that they were super frugal. I'll guarantee a lot of them, pay more attention to what they do than a lot of other people, but they manage their money. They have a good relationship with their money. They don't just let it pass through without thinking about it. So it's a relationship.
Yeah. So what would be maybe one or two or three first steps? What would you say would help you to kind of set going a different kind of relationship with numbers, and especially, so that you can become friends with numbers and they would like you, you would like them, and you wouldn't freak out once you like log in to check your bank account every time.
Yeah. Well, there's a couple of things. And a budget, you can do a simple Excel spreadsheet budget. They're real simple to do. Expenses, income and expenses, and what's left over at the end of the month. If it's tough times, what you don't want to do is dwell on that number. But what you can do is you can look at it and go, okay, that's not cutting it, or okay, I want more than survival. But when you know where you're at, not just, oh my God, I don't have enough money to pay the bills, but is it $50? Is it $100? Is it $500? Okay. Now you know how much it is. Can you, do you have stuff around the house that you can put up for sale online? Can you go out and collect aluminum cans? Can you do an online course? What can you do to make up that $5, $50, $500, whatever it is, so that you can relieve that burden? Or maybe you're making enough money every month, but you can't seem to get ahead, or you want to pay for a vacation or something. We'll figure out, okay, I'm 4,000 in, 4,000 out. Okay, and my vacation's 4,000. Well, how am I going to do that? Well, if you know what's in, what's out, and what you need, you can put a plan together. You got 12 months to put 4,000 together to go on a vacation. You just divide that 4,000 by 12, and you know how much money you need to save every month. And if you don't know how to do it, you can be creative and figure out a way to do it. But if you don't know what that is, then you certainly won't get there.
So basically, first you do that Excel sheet, and then second, it helps if you have a target too.
Yeah,
Just
whatever it is,
just overview.
whether it's
It's not
being
going
able to
anywhere.
pay your bills, or being able to get ahead, or being able to acquire something, whether it's a car, a vacation, something else. You got to know what it is you're working towards. You've got to put, a number on it. You've got to put a goal to get there. But yeah,
Mm. And what would be the third tip?
I always recommend people do the journaling. And, if you can do it for 1 week straight, be
So
faithful.
so basically, it can be also you just map down, like you monitor what goes in, what comes out, and then
Every single penny.
yeah,
I mean, if
you
you pick up a
write
penny off the
everything.
ground, write it as a plus. If you buy a 5 cent stick of bubble gum, write it as a negative. You can't skip anything. You can't say, well, I don't normally have a $5 coffee, so I'm not going to write it down. You have to be truthful. You have to every single day, every single penny that's in, every single penny that's out, and you can gauge. A lot of people will find out, they go, oh my God, I didn't know that I was spending $30 a month on crap at the the counter. They just, it's almost instinctual, and that's what the grocery stores do. They know subconsciously you're going to reach your hand out, you're going to grab it, you're going to put it on the belt, and it's going to run through. And you eat that beef jerky on the way home, and you don't even think about it. And that's a buck and a half right down there. You do that often enough, and it adds up. So if you're true and you're conscious about it and you write everything down, you're going to find that there's probably a lot of slough money that you can save.
Hmm. And actually, in our Reinvent Yourself program, we have several steps actually dedicated in detail how you can actually become a really good friend with your numbers and also multiply them and start to also. We don't call it the rainy day fund, but the sunshine or
Hmm.
sunny day fund, so that you can, go to a holiday or onto a beach like we have
Yep,
done
yep.
with dolphins. So very very simple, and also it from my side as an energy healer, I would say that all of these structural things which Michael talked about here really help, but also the energy, like what energy do you put into it? Like when you open your bank account, do you feel like, oh yeah, like I get an overview, I see how my money has been like moving in and out, or you like dreading the moment when it pops up like, oh my god, there is so little left, and oh, that bill is due and this is happening and so on. So that energy is also, it may sound weird, like what are you talking now, like numbers have no feelings, or but they are just part of like co-creation. So if you put like better energy and conscious energy and like boosting energy, we are completely sure.
Positive breeds positive, negative breeds
Yeah,
negative. And the
so
the
it
thing,
multiplies.
yeah, and the thing about it is, if you think about it, if you dwell on something and you feel real bad about it and you're down and that about it, what good does it actually do? It doesn't do anything. It makes you feel bad. You're putting negative mojo out there. Just don't do it. Go, okay, cash in, cash out. It's flowing. The flow in isn't as big as the flow out. How do I adjust the flow in?
Yeah, and
So
that just that moment they're realizing like, wow, I want more to come in
yeah,
than
yeah.
to go
So
out.
what do I need to
So
do? You know, it's like you got a little skinny water hose coming in, and you got a Russian River going out, which happens sometimes. Okay, how do I get a Russian River coming in and maybe narrow the Russian River going out to, you know, a stream? And that, you know, if you look at it that way instead, oh my God, I don't have enough money. You know, I can't pay my bills and everything else. That doesn't do any good. You just go, okay, the stream coming in isn't feeding the river going out. What do I need to do to get a river coming in and maybe reduce it to a stream going out?
yeah, and to finish it up, like one thing which I really have enjoyed during the last months, like observing you, is also I think what is really helping to increase the numbers and also increase the energy is that when you boldly basically choose, you know, what you're really passionate about, because then also it's just like a given thing, like, you know, everything starts to flow more. And when you realize, like, you know, what am I doing, you know, actually where my passion is real estate investments, then everything started to also actually turn around like in a very rapid speed.
Yeah, yeah. You know, we tell people to follow your you know your passion, follow you know your life purpose, your life mission. You know, sometimes you can't do it right away. You have to pursue it maybe at a slower pace. And as Oprah says, and I use it all the time, is you have to do something that you know is it you have
You
to
do something you need to do until
until you
you,
can do something that you want to do.
yeah.
Yeah, and so you know, and now that balance is I was doing a little bit of real estate and it excites me and I'm getting a little bit more and a little less of the things that I really don't enjoy doing as much because the balance is coming around and that excitement's going up, the flow's going better. So you know,
And then
do what
you
you have
also,
to until you can't do what you want to,
yeah,
until you
and
want,
then
can do
you
what you want to.
also don't burn the bridges. You go into this like
It's a transition.
smoothly, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's also one thing we see people sometimes do. They just jump ship very quick and then burn down the previous one.
Yeah, 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 and then the
That's,
other one takes longer than they expected,
yeah.
or isn't it? You know, they go
Then you
from they
then
go
you get doubted and then
yeah
you
you go
get
from yeah
bad.
you go from a sinking ship to a sinking ship,
Yeah, yeah.
and
That's no good.
that's no good. So
Yeah. So, and also, you know, when you feel like you are really in kind of like stuck mode with your numbers or money, Michael is a really good coach to help with such things and finances and so on, and especially real estate investments, of course. But in general, also, if you feel like, you know, finances or abundance is one of the core key elements where you are stuck right now, then we can also do a double dip in a way. Like, you know, you can have a meeting with Michael, he will give you all the structural things, and then you can have a meeting with me, and I will read the energies also where maybe some beliefs or some other things are stuck, and then you have a beautiful combo to go forward as well.
yeah, and it's you know it's not perfect for us. I mean, we've transitioned over the last couple of years. We went from you know vagabond free lifestyle to living on the land and having more bills, and you know we've been through our transition. So you know we know exactly what it's like because we've been there, done that, and it's not the first
Many
time.
times.
Yeah, it's not the first time.
Yeah.
So you just have to evaluate where you're at and evaluate where you want to go and do the things that you need to get there, which is what
Yeah.
we're doing.
Yeah. And also there are lots of pluses here, like, you know, I lived like 7 years out of a suitcase, so now finally I can hang my clothes on,
Yeah,
you know, in my wardrobe. So
yeah.
there are lots of things, and you know, I can cook and bake. We even have like what you call the muffin
Muffin
pans,
tray. Yeah,
yeah, muffin
yeah.
tray. So things I didn't have
And
during,
juicers and
yeah,
blenders on the counter,
yeah.
and
So
you know,
little, you know, comforts which
yeah,
come with it. So
yeah.
yeah, so we hope this Facebook Live was inspiring for you and gave some ideas about numbers and how you can become better friend with numbers. And if you need help, then let us know, and let's dive deeper into the ocean of numbers.
There you go.
Yeah. So we wish you a beautiful week, and we will also pretty soon set up some stuff also with Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
But for now, we'll try to keep our lives here on Facebook every Saturday, 10 a.m. Pacific Central Time. So come for a little boost of ideas and inspiration and motivation. We always have some good nuggets to share and give away.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So thank you so much. And if you were here, I see someone is here.
Aloha, Brandon.
Thank you. And then everyone else who you see this later, please also leave a little aloha behind. And if this inspired you and would also help others, please don't hesitate to also share with others and also subscribe to our channel. So mahalo and all the best till the next time.
Mahalo.